What was I even thinking? Is I would faint. I'm stuck. And that's where I kicked a guy. I had a viral fever after my run.
Should have ran like this. But that's okay.
Imagine standing at the start line of your race. You're about to do your first solo 10K run, and you feel like, why the hell am I doing this? That's exactly how I felt. I was not prepared. I was really not prepared for the uphills. I thought I could do it, and I thought I could do it in a better pace, in a better time, but that didn't happen. I did run my first 10K run in November 2024, and it was an absolute struggle, but it was also fun because I had a partner to run with, and it didn't really feel that hard, even though it was hard. This year, I thought I'm gonna do a solo 10K run, and I am not the person who does anything solo. I would always need a company, I would always need a partner to do something with, but then I thought, okay, I do my training alone, I go to the gym alone, so why not do a 10K alone? I'm gonna yap a little about my entire day of my first solo 10K run, and it was a pretty intense and a day that I'll never forget in my life. There was so much drama that it was too much to write even in my journal. So here's a video for you and for me to watch later and probably get some takeaways. I'm up to do a shakeout run. Shakeout run is something that you call a run before your actual race day, and it's gonna be an easy pace running. And I'm gonna go pick up my bib today. If you ask me on a scale of 1 to 10, Shrishta, how excited are you for the shakeout run? I would say 1. Yes, 1. Because I'm feeling so lazy right now. I haven't run in the entire week. I am ready to go. This is my outfit. But it's gonna be very hot, so I'm thinking to put on a white shirt. Super excited to get my bib.
It's Saturday and today is a complete rest day for me. I have not done anything except for eating and lying down on this bed with my Kindle. I'm gonna have my dinner by 7:30ish and try to sleep by 9:30 and wake up at 4 to leave at 6 because it takes an hour for me to travel.
All the runners know this, that you cannot sleep before the race day, and the same happened with me. I couldn't really sleep. I probably slept for 4ish or 5 hours, and I woke up at 3 a.m. I got ready. I was so jittery. I couldn't think of anything. I couldn't do anything. Constantly feeling anxious, like what's gonna happen? How am I gonna do it alone? How am I gonna run? There were so many thoughts in my head that I couldn't even pin up my bib to my t-shirt properly. Somehow I reached to the arena. I see that you have 4 pins to pin up the bib to your t-shirt, and one pin was missing, and if I run with that, the bib is gonna tear. So I had to go find volunteers and find where the pin is. Anywho, my bib is now pinned up and I wanted to pee. And there were so many men around me that made me confused. I was wondering, why are so many men around me? Where are all the girlies? And I tried to see why are there so many men around me, only to know that there is a washroom right opposite me, and there was a huge line, at least 200 to 300 meters line. I gave up on peeing. I gave up on wanting to pee. I did not even go look for a washroom, which was a bad idea. I should have, when I had the time, I had at least 20 minutes more for the race to start. I should have totally done it. So, me, who was already feeling jittery, now also wanted to pee, had to do an hour and a half run with me wanting to pee, and I had water in between. What was I even thinking? What I was also not prepared for was the sun. The whole week, the whole time in Hyderabad, it's raining, and on that day, the sun is shining so brightly. It's hitting on my face. I did not get my cap. My cap is in my bag, but I did not take it along with me. during my run, thinking the weather would be great. It's gonna be a great weather and I'm gonna enjoy the breeze. But there was no breeze. All I had was sun shining bright on my face. I would faint. And at a moment, I did think I would faint. I did not faint. I did my run. I thought I'll faint again, but I did not faint. I had some electrolytes. So somehow I run for 5 kilometers. The run is great. After 5 kilometers, I went zoop. My energy levels dropped. The sun was sunning and I couldn't do uphills anymore. My body gave up and I went on a very slower pace than I planned to go. Crowd was really great. The volunteers were great. I tried to have some fun after 5 kilometers. I was like, I want to do it for fun. But I also was like, but I want to do it in 120. I did a 10k run before that as a training run and I finished in 118. So I thought I could do it 120. That would be easy peasy, according to ChatGPT. Anywho, that's what I did and started running the end towards Gachibowli Stadium. And that's where I could see all the runners really struggling, including me. One step after another felt like a pain. I couldn't do it. My body was giving up. I knew the finish line is just right there, but my legs couldn't really move. I started walking. That's where I got a tap on my shoulder from this lady. She was like, keep going. And I really, at that moment, loved the running community because I was alone, but not really alone in this entire run. I kept going. I started running again. And somehow I reached the finish line. I get my medal. What a journey it was. But it does not end here. The drama does not end here. I go to get a water bottle and I stand there. So many men, there are so many women there sweating, and I forget all about cleanliness, neatness, everything at that point. Nothing matters. I go to grab a bottle, and in 10 seconds, the entire case of water bottles is done. And I was like, what the hell? I'm gonna faint if I do not have water. Somehow I stood there for another 30 seconds or so. I got my water and I just collapsed on the floor. I just sat on the floor. I couldn't call anybody. I couldn't do anything because there was no signals in Gachibowli Stadium. And I tried to ask everybody about the baggage counter because I couldn't see the baggage counter anywhere. And I wanted my cap, I wanted my shades, and I wanted that electrolytes that's in my bag. And first, before that, I was like, I'm gonna do a quick cool down. And that's where I kicked a guy. I'm so sorry, whoever you are. I was really tired. I couldn't even think straight. And I found the baggage counter and I go there and I tell the wrong number, feel like a fool, and then sit, take some pictures, take some videos, and I feel a little happy. I also feel a little sad that I couldn't do it in my estimated pace, and I started walking out. And there were two roads. There were like left side is the exit and right side is the entry. And I went walking to the left couple of meters, and then I asked a volunteer which is a better route, and the volunteer told take the entry route, and I went to the entry side. There were no signals to book autos or book cabs. My plan was to go to Roast and have breakfast. I was gonna treat myself almond croissant, so I went out. There was a bus stop right outside Gachibowli Stadium, so I went, I sat there, and I started booking the auto, and I see my battery percentage is a 30 or a 20%, and the entire one side of the road was blocked. There are no autos, there are no anything else that's going by, and there is nothing that's getting booked for anybody there. And I was like, I'm stuck. Up until 45 minutes or something, battery kept dropping 1% after another. There is nothing that's getting booked. There was this guy who finally agreed to come, and I waited for him like around 20 minutes only for him to call and tell me that the road is blocked and I cannot make it. I was like, bro, all my hope was on you. My battery right now is 10%, and what do I do? Start booking everything. I try to book a bike, I try to book a cab, I try to book an auto. In each app I'm doing all this. I'm constantly panicking and also trying not to panic. I already was told the scenarios and what can be the possible solutions for them. So somehow my bike got booked at 2%. I kept my phone on flight and I reached Roast. First time I sat on somebody else's bike and my legs were crying. Now I reached Roast, I go there and my battery is dead, and the guy says that he cannot take cash because he does not have change and I have only a 500 rupees note. I somehow managed to give him the money. I go inside Roast and ask around everybody, if they have a charger. I asked people who are eating, people who are working there, and the person who was waiting there was like, "Madam, हम इतने अमीर नहीं ही हैं, madam." And I was like, bro, what do I do? By this time, a friend of mine sent me a charger, a power bank. It was like a life saving thing. First time I'm alone, doing something alone, and such incidents happened with me. I was freaking out. But somehow I managed. I ate an almond croissant. I drank my Americano. A mistake. If nobody has ever told you this, I'm gonna tell you. You run a 10k in sun, do not go and have an iced Americano. It's gonna mess up with your system. It did with mine. I fell sick for 10 days after that. I had a viral fever after my run. And I was like, what in the hell? And then after a couple of days, I signed up for another run. Do I have any regrets running alone? No. I would do it again. I would do it with my friends. Let me also tell you, throughout this run, I was only focusing on keep running, keep going, not stop. And I failed to realize that heart rate is also the most important thing in running. Keeping your heart rate under control and not going beyond a certain point is also very important in running. I constantly was running in zone 5, which I do not plan to do it in my next run and not max myself out. I'm gonna see you with another story time super soon because I'm running another run on November 2nd with my friends who I bullied them into running. Anywho, bye.